Hey, everyone. Welcome in to Gobbler Inc. Special Edition. And I know you guys are so used to the Sunday show and a Sunday morning. Well, this is a special edition because we want to celebrate with all the mothers for tomorrow. This because, all the mothers around the world who gave birth to us and all that stuff. This is all for you. So we just want to, for our wives and our moms, we're going to save for tomorrow. But this is so we're going to do the show today here this Saturday afternoon, and listen. So of course, I'm going to go around the round table real fast. I'm with my right hand man with me as every Sunday morning, the Slayer, Mike Lauro. Good morning, Mike. How are you doing, buddy?
It's not morning, it's 4 in the afternoon, and I'm good.
Sorry,
What's up?
It's morning somewhere. Deborah Sports is checking in saying, Happy Mother's Day to all. And of course, the man I've known for 3 decades, he's joined the show. He's from the Weedham Boys of 215. He's all over Devereaux Sports. And whether he's writing for Devereaux Sports, whether he's on somebody's show filling in, the man is the MVP at Devereaux Sports, our man, Paul Spencer. Good morning, Paul.
Wow, man, I feel like Danny Green on the Fountain of Youth or something. They're like, wow, man, you make me feel like I'm like 70 years old here, Pat. You know me for 3 decades. Jeez.
Hey, listen, it's just so you and I go along. We go way, way back. Yes. But listen, guys, big night last night. We had the Sixers, and listen, world of difference when you have a superstar on your team. A world of a difference. First 2 games, no Embiid. We couldn't find a center to fill the shoes. Doc was being very questioned by the fan base and the media. Now, yesterday, this team was hot, playing very, very, very good basketball yesterday. Things that I noticed: the lockdown defense on Tyler Hero. They were really aggressive with him. James Harden taken to the rack, very, very aggressive. Danny Green going off at the 3-point line. Maxey, I mean, you saw it yesterday. That first half, Maxey was horrible. Maxey, I mean, Doc was yelling from the sidelines, screaming at him, and then there's something inside that clicked in his head that he unleashed the beast yesterday, and he went off, and he went crazy. I mean, he was just, being just killing it from in the paint, from the perimeter. It didn't matter. One thing I noticed is George Niang had a little bit of a struggle yesterday. It's a shame because he's out. He's been really, really good through the regular season, but he's been like I said, he only had 1 3. He went 1 for 3 yesterday from 3-point land. But guys, tell me what you saw, Paul. I'll start with you. What did you see?
Well, just like you said, actually the first 3 quarters, he was unseen. I mean, in the fourth quarter, this little spark plug ignited the whole team, and that's when the run started. To me, this kid is I know we talk about Embiid being back, the focal point, the motivational guy coming back last night, but I'm going to give this credit to Maxey. I mean, that one play where he stole the ball, threw it over, his head as he's going out of bounds, that was a spark plug play. To me, it's more Maxey than anything out there right now. I love watching Maxey play. I know Embiid coming back was, like I said, a big motivational thing for the entire team. But I just want to talk about Maxey and also the fountain of youth, the 50-year-old guy, Danny Green. I mean, 7 for 9 from 3-point range. Insane. Something we don't see. Yeah. Something we don't see out there.
No, get him, Mike.
What I took from the game it's just Maxey's shooting, man. He if you saw last night, he grabbed the bull by the horns last night. Like, he wasn't scared to take shots. And it was a big lift for Embiid coming back. You saw the Sixers. I mean, Harden had 15 points in the first half last night. Like, you thought Harden was going to break out of his shell, a little bit last night with Embiid coming back. And you also saw what it did defensively, too. Abayo was a non-factor last night. The only guy that was shooting last night for them was Jimmy Butler. And if that's going moving forward, I like the Sixers' chances to come back in this series. Like, they looked really good last night. They looked almost they kind of locked down the guys that they needed to lock down last night. You know, Hero was locked down. Kyle Lowry was locked down last night. I mean, when's the last time you can really sit there and say Kyle Lowry was locked down in a playoff series?
You know what, Mike, you bring great points because, like I said, Tyler Hero, he could, he was shut down last night. He had no answers. They got like a little bit of a leadway going their way. The start of the third, it got a little sloppy for the Sixers, a bunch of turnovers. When they were trying to shoot in transition, they were stepping out of bounds, and it wasn't very, very good for the Sixers. But however, like I said, they just turned things around, and they kept on pummeling their opponent and pummeling the Heat and pummeling them. And then, like I said, the game was just it was like I said, the world of difference when Embiid takes the floor, because now he's the focal point of what you want to put your attention around. I think he only had like 19 points yesterday. No,
yeah, he had a double-double.
points.
He had a double-double yesterday.
Yeah, double-double.
Stop and think about that for a second. The guy had a double-double with a broken face, a messed up leg, concussion protocol, and a broken face. And he had a double-double.
Right. You're right. Smashed up face, just coming off concussion protocol, broken, one down to one thumb. And this guy, he wants this championship in the worst way. And
I don't think we could ever question JoJo's heart after this.
No.
I mean, you really can't. And I'll tell you what, he took Bam Adebayo out of that game yesterday. Bam Adebayo did not want nothing to do with the middle of that court that he's been dominating the first two games. He took Bam Adebayo and just said, dude, you're not coming in here, so you might as well get used to it. And he just shut Adebayo down. To me, that's what won that game yesterday. Because Abayo's been having his way. It didn't matter if it's Reed in there, DeAndre, if he's in there. It's crazy, man. Let me tell you, it's going to be an exciting game 4 for tomorrow.
Yeah, and like I said, we're going to dive in that in a little later in the program. But it's funny, Maxey, like Joe says here, Maxey going on that 5-point run after being tied up and the turning point. Like I said, I seen Doc actually being a coach, and we've all questioned Doc's ability in the playoffs. Well, you saw him getting in, in Maxey's ears, because Maxey did have a sloppy of a first half, and then him turning the ball over, and then you just saw Doc on the side chirping at him. And something got in his head, and then he went off. And it was good. So our fan here, our number one fan here, Chris Pazzi's checking into the program. He says with the Harris drop last night, he dropped. He
had 9 points.
Yeah, he had 9 points. He didn't have much.
He dropped.
Oh, I hear a little feedback there, but So Paul, let's go back to you here. I mean, what did you see defensively from this team?
Well, just like Slater said, Mike Lauro said there, you're looking at Bam Adebayo, who's averaging 24 points a game, and last night, I mean, he only had 9 points. I mean, it was just a total defensive takeover for the game last night. When you hold Tyler Hero to 14 points, the best 6 man in the game who could be starting on any team in the NBA right now, and you hold him to 14 points, it tells you that it's not just one defensive player. It's a fundamental 5-man program on the ball last night. It was insane. I mean, it was a total game last night. I mean, after the third quarter, it was anyone's game, but the fourth quarter, the Sixers just locked down.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like they were forcing a lot of. If the Sixers can cut down their turnovers, because they had way too many last night. They had 17. Like when I was listening to the game, they were up to almost 20 turnovers. Dude, you cut that in half, and dude, that's another 10 points, man. You know what I mean?
Yeah, right. And I'm reading your son's comment here. And,
happy birthday, kid!
Oh yes, very happy birthday, Evan. Another big fan of the show. And I was worried because I was listening to prior to him coming on the floor that he's going to have minutes restrictions, and I was worried how much playing time you're going to see from Embiid. And he was in the thick of things. The only thing that was really, really questionable was the rotations, because I think they went to the Korkmaz route a little too early in that game. They went to the Korkmaz. They had Shake and Niang all at the same time. I'm like, I started to push the panic button just a little bit when I saw that combination come to the floor.
I'll tell you what, though. I think Shake did a pretty good job last night on Jimmy Butler when he was in there.
Yeah.
He did. He did. I mean, like we kill shake, and I'll tell you, to me it just looked like, the Sixers bench players, they did their job. They didn't, there's nothing. I'm not too high on them, but I mean they did what they were supposed to do, especially defensively. Like it was really good to see the Sixers finally play some good, solid defense. They weren't getting killed on the boards. I mean, it was a sight to see. Now, if we can only get Tobias Harris to come back now with a little bit more points for Game 4, I think the Sixers will be all right.
Yeah,
right. And like I said,
can you Danny Green? Can you count on Danny Green? I mean, giving you this spark off the bench. I mean, you know him. He's ice cold some days, lightning on fire the next game. We don't know, but can we count on that 20 points there? And then you got to look. I mean, I'm a Sixers fan, of course, but you got to look at it. Kyle Lowry, 0 points too. I mean, it's not.
Yeah, that's not going to happen.
It's not going to hang. I mean, everybody has a bad game. I mean, I'm looking at it. I want the Sixers to win, of course, but PJ Tucker 4 points, Kyle Lowry 0. The only spark they had was Jimmy Butler with 33 and Tyler Hero with 14. That's the only thing. Can Danny?
Yeah, Green, I mean, if you stop and think about it, Paul, just for a second, like they held Hero and Abayu to 20 points.
Yeah,
23 points. Like if you can do that, that's a win.
Sure,
that's a win. But like you said, these other guys too, like PJ Tucker can go off in a matter of a drop of a hat, so can Kyle Lowry. So, but looking on it from the Sixers side too, Tobias Harris really didn't do anything. So, yeah. I mean, if he's going to start doing something, that could really, shape into form there, kind of balance it out a little bit.
To me, though, like it was easy for it was a day in South Beach, rather, for the first two games, because like we were just mentioning, there was no Embiid. There's nothing clogging up that paint. He could do whatever they wanted in the paint. There was nothing. There was no one stopping him. I mean, the facts are you can't get nothing from DeAndre Jordan anymore. There's nothing that Paul Millsap can contribute. Your best bet off the bench is Paul Reed, and he can only deliver so much. It is now. It's now that Embiid's on the floor, they can't figure it out. They got to get physical in order to try and win games here. And that, once you try and get physical, to me, once you try and show that physical presence, you're cooked. You're telling your opponent that you're not skilled enough to beat you. And like I said, I noticed the elbows to the back on Thibault yesterday from that guy Tucker. And to me, it was like they were trying to get it, and it happened before, like maybe back in 2017, where the Heat were trying to play physical with the Sixers because they knew Sixers were just, with skill wise, were just too good. So, and this is to me, but like Paul says, Strawser is going to go back to the drawing board. He's not going to sit here and just, lay this egg. He's got to come up with something. He's going to come up with something creative, and that's the worry part. What's he got in store for the Sixers tomorrow night in prime time? Because it's not going to be, this kind of play is not from him. So he's going to come up with something creative. And like you said, Kyle Lowry, I don't expect him to lay another egg. I expect Tyler Hero come up with something big too. So, but like I said, Paul, what scares you the most about tomorrow night?
Spoelstra, just like you said, he's a game manager. He's a very smart coach. He's an X and O guy. I mean, look where he's came from. The Pat Riley tree learning, and you can't count this guy. I know the players who execute on the floor, but I think Spoelstra is going to put him in a position to win. We talked about Kyle Lowry. Bam. I think he's gonna use him more of a facilitator. Getting his shots off, looking for Hero to go off. He's gonna put them in position to get better shots. And I think what they're going to do, they're just going to the players have to execute, of course, but I think Spoelstra is going to put them in a position to get better looks on there. Maybe go more to a zone where Embiid had a bad night shooting. We've seen that. Make him beat us inside. He doesn't look that great inside right now, coming off the rust. 9 days off with the protocol. But I think Spoelstra is going to go more to a zone and take away like a Maxey, shooting wise. But the only problem, you got to pick your poison. The thing is with Harden, if Harden can, dribble, drive, and execute, that's something that Harden actually showed last night, where he took the lane and looked for the basket or get the foul. And Maxey, we know he can create his own shot anywhere on the court. So I think you pick your poison, but Spoelstra's a good guy. You might even go to like a 1-3-1 to take the other game up top. You never know.
And you know what, Paul? You bring a excellent point to me. Oh, excuse me there.
That's the old age, Pat.
You bring an excellent point to me because, like, James Harden to me is like one of the X factors. I know, like a lot of people ask, and I listen. Obviously the Sully Squad, and the AS. Diego on there saying, like, um, I like to see Harden put up 30 points, and to me, like, that phase is long gone anymore. To me, you're going to get the facilitator, the quiet assassin, where he can read the defense. Okay, if he sees, if everyone's being guarded in this zone defense, he's going to be able to take it to the paint, or he's going to pass it out. So to me, like I said, the Sixers, it's really, like I said, all in James Harden's hands right now. That's where I'm at. But Mike, let me ask you a question. Are you surprised how well Doc has coached last night compared to his first two games, or is it just what happens when you get a superstar?
I mean, it's real easy when you insert Joel into your lineup. I to be honest with you, I don't think Doc really did anything different. I think what I like what Doc did do was basically hand over the defensive assignment to Sam Cassell. He did that after game 2, which not a lot of people are talking about. So Sam's been the one that's really kind of constructing this defense now. So maybe we don't have to worry so much now about Doc trying to answer Spoelstra as we do Sam Cassell. You know what I mean? And I love Sam Cassell. Pat, from us doing the show, I wanted him to be the Sixers coach. When I found out he came with Doc, I was happy. So I give the Sixers a good fighting chance with this game. I know Spoelstra's going to make some adjustments. Some of the players who didn't score in that game is going to score, but you know what? Some of the players that didn't score for the Sixers are also going to score. And as far as Harden goes, he don't have to put up 30, but he can do it at least one game in a series. If he can do it one game in the series, you're going to be all right. And we haven't seen that yet. Now, it was close last night. He put up 15 in the first half. But if you take a look the second half, he started facilitating more. He stopped taking the shots.
Because, Embiid does that for you. Embiid does most of the dirty work for you, where he's kind of taking on that role. Like I said, he's reading the defenses, see what the defense can give him, knowing he's got a superstar in the middle, down low, and then he's got a few other guys he can facilitate to within Maxey and Tobias. But sometimes Tobias takes those little quick jump shots. Then you got, like you said, then you can facilitate if you see a wide open look on Danny Green. And like Paul says, I don't expect him to go 7 for 9 like he did last night, because usually he goes.
Hold on, but Danny Green's that type of dude though. If he gets 7 for 9, like he can go multiple games hitting, being on fire, and then he'll disappear for 8 games. You know what I mean? Like usually when he starts hitting, he gets in a rhythm for at least a couple games. You know what I mean? But he could, but after a couple games, he may disappear for a couple games too. So, I mean, I would take him for another couple games, nailing them threes.
Yeah, the one thing that worries about me is the Sixer bench. I mean, Niang, of course, he's like MIA right now in the last couple of games, off shooting. Reed's going to give you the foundation moments, off of the bench, backing up Embiid. But to me, it's Steibel. I mean, Steibel's not doing anything on offense. Reed, Millsap, Jordan, Bassie, Joe, and Springer didn't play, of course. But if you look at it, the Heat bench, they can go deep, and they just had an off game. I just hope the Sixers come out, fundamentally sound and execute right away. Put the throttle down and just continue to go. Don't wait till the third quarter. Get a lead, shut Miami down, and say, "Look, you're in our house. This is over. The big man's back. The process is complete. Let's go."
Yeah, and that's where you go. Like you got to strike blood. You got to strike first, and that's how they're going to be able to win this game. Like I said, to me, like I noticed yesterday, Sixers were able to control the Miami defense through on both sides of the ball. Like they were giving us, getting the bite to the left, them to the right. Whether it was a two man look on Embiid to swing it out to, like I said, to an open look to Danny Green or so forth. But like I said, tomorrow I expect Spoelstra to have a big creative thing. He's going to go back to the whiteboard today. He's probably sitting in his hotel room today, writing some things down, looking at a bunch of film, what he can do to shut down the big man, or But to me, I just think with Embiid just being on the floor, he's too much. And like I said, I normally don't watch any kind of other post game guys, but like I called Stephen A. a little bit in the middle, between the at the intermission. He said they're just going to use Embiid as a decoy in the paint where everyone could pretty much facilitate off of. And I said kind of doesn't, like I said, that's why I don't watch those guys. But like to me, just get, like I said, you just gotta play hard D. Like listen to Joe Sullivan, catch him every Monday at 6 p.m. Like I was watching him and listening to him. And he said the most annoying person on that floor is going to be Tyler Hero, and you got to just zero in on him. You got to just shut him down. If you shut them down, that's a big part of their offense getting shut down. Like I said, Kyle Lowry,
Butler's going to get his. Butler's going to get his. I said Butler's going to get his.
Yeah, but
so.
Butler is going to get his, and there's not right, but we could get guys get theirs too. But sometimes though, and Kyle Lowry ain't that great in the playoffs. I mean, he kind of shovels up in the playoffs. So I'm hoping that we can still get that Kyle Lowry where he, where he's already thinking about big. That's what I'm hoping for anyway. But like you say, you still got Victor Alpipo. Depo. Oh, tongue tie there.
Oladipo.
Oladipo.
Too much caffeine.
I can't believe he's still playing. He's like 100 years old, ain't he?
No, he's only in his sixth year, man. He's from Indiana University, my favorite school. But he's a journeyman. He's been in there for a while, so.
Yeah, and like I said, he couldn't do nothing in the paint either. So of course our man, I call him the novelist of Davros Sports. Our man Sean Kilrain checking in. Getting in PJ Tucker's head, we should be good. I want to see an unsung hero step up like a big like Paul Reed or Shea. Do you guys agree?
That'd be nice.
Anything off the bench I would take. I don't care if it's 5 points, 6 points. I would take anything off the bench right now because our bench is just depleted right now where you're only getting 2 points a game. It's all starters.
I'd like to see him give Isaiah Joe a shot too. Isaiah Joe's a good little player, man.
Hey, look, anything better than Korkmaz. I'll take anything better than Korkmaz right now. You know what I mean?
Let me ask you guys watch the game real quick.
Mm-hmm.
You notice Harden comes down with the ball and he holds the ball for about 10 to 14 seconds. I think he needs to execute the offense a little bit faster and look for the better shot. I mean, his thing is, I don't know how many times I watched the game last night where, yes, they won, but Harden brings the ball down and he waves Maxey off. Listen, get flow in your offense. If you're going to drive the lane a little bit early. Don't wait until 6 or 7 seconds in the play clock and then execute your offense. To me, the ball a little bit too much for me. I think
he's like a QB back there and holds on to the ball a little too long. You know what I mean? He's looking. I get he's reading the defense and where he wants to go with the rock, but at the same, like you said, don't hold him too long or they're going to read you, and you can't afford to, like I said, sit there too long or else they're going to pummel you. But like I said, to me, he's been a big part of the offense so far in yesterday's game. Not so much in the first 2 games. Like I said, he's been playing the same role. Like to me, like the first 2 games, he should have been playing that. We want to see that 20 to 30 point kind of James Harden, which we're not going to get no more. He's just doesn't have it no more. What he's doing now is the best he's going to give you, but he needs to be with a legit superstar in the MVP and Embiid. But listen,
speaking of MVP, Pat, there's a rumor tomorrow that Key is going to present the award tomorrow night. I hear that's what I'm hearing, a rumor.
Hey, listen, I hope so. I hope that he.
I think they're going to screw him out of it.
Really?
Yeah, I think they're going to screw him out of it. And listen, if they do, like that may set that dude off. Like legitly, just be like, you know what? All right, you're not going to give it to me. Then I'm going to go win this championship. Like I can see that really snapping that dude.
Let's not give him the trophy then. Let's not give him the trophy, Mike.
That's what I'm saying. But I ultimately think I think they're going to screw him. I don't think they're going to give it to him.
I understand with both points with Joker. I mean, you look at Joker's team, he really has nobody on the team, honestly. You lost Murray out there. I understand what he does is phenomenal. Almost average a triple-double for a big man. But Embiid is just an animal where you're talking hybrid center, 7 foot, bringing the ball up, skills, shooting threes, fundamentally offense, defense. It's something that you haven't seen since Olajuwon or a player like that back in the day. It's time for the center to get the award, and it needs to be Embiid this year. It's very simple.
I totally agree with that. Well, look, guys, I would love to continue this Sixers talk here, but I'm going to shift gears here a little bit. Paul, But I don't know if you caught any of this mess that's been going on all week. But Mike, us living through here in Philadelphia, it's been a nasty, nasty week with the Phillies. These Phillies, they blew a set. How are you up 7-1 and you blow it, in the ninth? It's looking good. Bryce Harper with a double with an RBI. Castellanos with a sack. 2 sacrifices with 2 RBIs. He has a home run. JT Remuto with a single with the 3 RBIs. I mean, it's again, everyone's put up points.
It happens.
Mike,
it happens. Like
Mike,
it happens. It happens.
In the 9th inning,
it
you don't
happens,
blow.
Bro.
You don't blow.
Yes, you do. You blow it when. Hold on. All right, now I got to educate another Bernard. I had to educate the other Bernard last weekend. Now I got to educate this one, dude. It happens when you leave, when your manager takes out your pitcher, okay, who was doing good, and then the relief pitcher who comes in afterwards shuts the door. You leave them in. Like Familia should have been left in. Okay, that loss is on Girardi. Nobody else.
I agree, and I'm glad you're saying this because now I got to know, is Girardi on the hot seat? Because,
he's sitting. Oh yeah, he's not going to make it. He's not going to make it. Dusty Rothman's going to end up taking over for the Phillies. You watch. Dusty Rothman's going to end up. He's going to end up managing the Phillies.
Yeah, because that to me is disgraceful. Disgraceful. Yeah, I never.
Bro, did you see his press conference afterwards? Dude, Joe looks burnt out.
My watch is actually telling me I calm down, my blood pressure is going up because this guy's getting me so heated. This guy's got me so aggravated. Like this is just like I said, I've never seen anything like that. 7 Ks, 7 runs. You were tearing up that dude Walker of the Mets. You were tearing him up. You were waffling. You tattooed him. You were up 7-1 in the early steps. All you gotta do is win. If you have a pitcher, a closer who can't figure out how to get anybody out, why leave him in there? Why don't you go to the bullpen? And this is all in Girardi. Like, dude, what are you doing?
I just got one question to ask. Number one, he went to a kid who just got rocked a week ago by the Mets. That's who he first went with. Then you go to Corey Kluber to bail him out. Okay, one, you got to build up your closer to bring him in. Okay, you can't just throw him up there and say, okay, get a quick warm-up going. Where's Alvarado? There's a guy who throws 100 miles an hour. What happened to Hand? Right hand.
Right.
Where are they at? Where were they at? Why did you go right from this kid right to Corey Kluber? I mean, listen, I'm still not worried about I think the Phillies got the talent to overcome no matter who's managing them. Okay. Right. We haven't gotten to hitting season yet. And with that lineup, trust me, hitting season's coming.
The best
pitching has been. Go ahead, man. Go ahead.
No. Like I said, I'm mind boggled about this team because
it's Girardi, man. It's
Harper and Nick Castellanos both gave you home runs back to back, and they blew this. Look,
they didn't blow this.
You're 6 games away. Now 7.
Dude, who cares? Pat, who cares? Like, you guys, listen. Nothing. It's friggin' May. Relax. If it was August, I could see you being upset. Like, you know how far the Braves were back last year? Dude, the Braves were over 10 games back last year at the All-Star break, and they won the World Series. Pump your brakes, dude. It's early.
Now, listen.
Hold on. We all know the Mets are going to fall apart. The Mets are going to fall apart. It's the Met thing to do. It's going to happen.
I understand that. I understand that. Look, I talk with a Mets fan all day, unfortunately. Look, but like last year we were neck and nipples with the Braves. Now we're nothing. Now we are.
Oh my God, Pat! The Mets are ahead of everybody in the division. Miami's in second place right now. So you can't.
Happen, by the way.
But come on, stop. I'm not going to X you off your own show. Like, come on, dude. Like, it's way too early. It is. These guys, number one, the Phillies got a lot of new pieces. They're still learning to play together. Okay? Atlanta's got people. Don't go. No, it's the truth. It's not. How isn't it? Hold on, dude. Yeah, what do you mean? Like, dude, these guys are not just plug and play. Stop. This is your 700 level vision kicking in. Pump your brakes, dude. They got to take time to learn to still play with each other, man. Like it is what it is. Okay, they're not that far back.
Each other?
Leave it to you about playing with each other. But no, I'm being serious. Like I literally looked at them. If you just give it this month, if they're still at 500, they're in good shape, dude. They're still in good shape, even if they're at 500. Listen, I'm telling you, everybody thinks the Mets are going to run away with this division. It's hogwash, dude. They're not running away with this division. They are going to come back to earth real quick. Okay, yeah, Atlanta's going to get healthy. I think the Phillies are going to get better. So there's going to be 3 teams kicking the shit out of each other right there. Like listen, the Mets may get us, but the Braves may get them, and we may get the Braves. It's going to go in that stupid little round circle, like it always does.
Oh, Paul, welcome
at the end of the day,
by the way, 3 years.
What's that?
Welcome back. Well, listen, Mike. Look, dude. You want to tell me? Look, you got to take the red sunglasses off. I love you to death, but you got.
No, I'm not taking the red sunglasses off, Pat. If they stink, I would tell you they stink. But dude, you got to be. You got. How do they stink, Pat? It's the manager.
Yes,
it's the manager.
Yes,
it's the manager.
He's got to go in order to save this.
I agree. That's one thing we agree on. He's got to go, but you can't blame the starting pitching. The starting pitching's been good except for 2 starts. Except for 2 starts. You know, your paint chip eating brother loves saying stuff about. I love saying stuff about Aaron Nola. He pitched a gem the other night.
Yes, I agree with you. He is an idiot. Yes.
Okay. Yes. An idiot. Yes, he's definitely the paint chip eater of that family.
Yes.
But he's doing well. The bullpen's only blown 2 games. It just happens that they were both against the Mets.
Oh man.
Other than that, dude, that bullpen's been solid.
But like,
okay, the hitting is going to come along, dude. Schwarber was in a funk. Bryce is not 100%. He's not playing the field. He's only DHing. JT hasn't really been hitting.
Okay,
hold on. Segura has been hot and cold. You know who the most consistent hitter's been on the Phillies so far? Alec Bohm. The kid that said he freaking hates this place, and everybody was all up in arms.
Yes.
Okay, maybe we should boo him a little more. But, I mean, look at it. I mean, and the kids played well.
Yeah.
So, Pat, I do think, they're going to hit their – and plus, look at their schedule. Dude, the Phillies got a murder's row, dude, the first 2 months of the season.
Texans are murder's row? The Texans?
No, you got a huge schedule coming up, Pat. You got the Mets, the Dodgers, the Padres.
Did you see the opening? I mean, they dropped 2 to Texas. Guess what, Pat? We play them later on in the year. We can get those 2 games back.
A day at the beach.
No, we shouldn't be, dude. They play baseball too, bro. This is what I'm saying. You guys have this mentality of, oh my God, the Phillies they should just come out as of April, the first game in April and just start bombing everybody 16-3. It's not going to happen that way.
Mike, you know what the Phillies are? They're paper champions. They look good every year on paper.
They're not paper champions, Pat. They got to build time to build chemistry. Like cheese and crackers, bro. You guys want Miracle Grow. You guys are. This is Pat. Pat gets a big ass pump of Miracle Grow and sprays it on the seeds and grow quick, grow now. No, dude, they got to blossom. They got to blossom like a flower.
Harper and Hoskins and Remuto have been on this team for more than 3 to 4 years now.
Okay, but they weren't playing. But they weren't playing with Castellanos and Schwarber. But they weren't playing with Castellanos and Schwarber.
Did they need to hang at the Blue Oyster? I mean, how much more?
Oh boy.
Paul, hold on. Let's get somebody in here with some real intelligence. Paul, dude, when you add a bunch of new pieces to a team, do you not need time for your chemistry to go? And you guys keep bringing up those 3 guys with Harper, Realmuto, and Hoskins. Okay, what about Juan Camargo? What about Schwarber? What about Castellanos? There's 3 more guys now that you gotta bring in and do that. Right. Come on, Pat.
Let me twist the nipple.
Go ahead, Paul.
No,
Paul,
I
go ahead. Educate him.
I'm going to refer this to Paul because this is going to refer to Paul. Paul, you're a Cowboys fan, so you got Mike McCarthy as your coach, right? You have the same Dak, you got same Elliott, and you got Alec Cooper. Just say you expect that core, the offensive core, to do something every year, and it's the same stuff. It look good on paper, but never pans out, and that's what the Phillies are. It's they're paper champions. Like I said, it was one bad game yesterday, and I get it, Mike. I blew my gasket yesterday or today, and look, that's why I'm happy about the rain. I'm glad the rain's here, okay? Because I don't have to witness embarrassing losing. Because if it wasn't for the rain, who knows? The Phillies probably would have been 9 back. But go ahead, Paul. Elaborate on how I feel.
Oh, my turn. All right, here we go. Okay, Pat, I'm sorry. I got to disagree with you. Okay, Mike.
Yes, thank you.
You brought up my Cowboys, Pat. We're on paper.
Yes.
We're probably one of the best teams in the NFL. But there's one difference with the Cowboys. We have Mike McCarthy. He's a complete idiot. Okay.
Yes.
He's a complete idiot. But going on Mike's point, Mike is 100% agreed upon because you look at the Nets. Okay, Kyrie Irving, KD, even with the Harden situation, they need time to gel. Just with the Sixers when you got Harden, it's a totally different atmosphere coming in. You're learning Maxi's game. You're learning Embiid's game. You need time. With Schwarber and all these guys coming in for the Phillies, you need time to gel together. The season's not over. Look at the Braves last year. Everybody was ringing the bell for the Phillies. And look who got out at the right time. They gelled together once they found their foundation, and they won the World Series.
They won the World Series.
And I get that.
And they were 12 games back. 12 games, Pat. They were back at the All-Star break and came back and won. So you asked me why I'm not worried about what's going on right now? Because the Phillies will right themselves. They will right themselves this year. And you'll be sitting back there come July and August, and you'll be like, damn, dude, you were right.
Well, I hope
Just
so.
watch, man. Just watch.
We need to mark this day on the show right now. What is today's date? Let's mark this. 5/7/2022.
5/7.
Yep, May 7th, baby. Mark it down.
We are.
The Phillies are still going to make the playoffs. They are still going to make the playoffs. Win the division? I don't know. I think Atlanta's still the best team in the division, even with all the BS the Mets did. Atlanta's still the champs until you beat them. And that team scares the hell out of me because Atlanta's got an infinity of a farm system. Like, they can trade young pitchers away, and there's 2 or 3 waiting to take their spot to come on up. Like, I think them and Dodgers got the best farm systems in the world.
Mm-hmm.
I kind of go with the theory of that, and I hate to agree with my brother. I never agree with him. I think he's a complete dope. But one thing that's right about Chucky, I think everything runs through New York right now. I think that they got a incredible pitching staff. They're hitting the ball well, and I get it. This is their norm. This is the norm. This is early stages. This is where they look good every year. And somewhere when the weather gets warm, they start to go into melted ice cream. And I get that. So that's
a buddy of mine is a diehard Mets fan.
Right.
He looked me dead in the face and told me, he said, I'm enjoying this now because by June 1st, our pitching will be done. He said, Scherzer will be on the DL. He said, DeGrom will be back on the DL. He goes, I have nothing to look forward to. This is a guy who's a born and raised a Mets fan. Right. Look me dead in the face. He goes, I got to enjoy this now. He goes, because after June 1st, he goes, we're done. So I agree with it, man. I'm sorry. Until the Mets can show me something different, and I'm sorry, I don't believe in Buck Showalter. Like, you got, like, no, you really forget, dude. Like that dude managed the Orioles just 2 years ago when they were losing 100 games. I'm not worried about Buck Showalter.
No, I'm
more worried about the Atlanta Braves right now. Because I feel like the Mets will come back to the pack. Remember, they got to play these tough schedule games too. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Like, I don't see them going into the LA and beating the Dodgers or San Diego or the Giants. Giants are a nasty team, bro. Like, a lot of people sleep on them. Milwaukee's a really good team. So the Mets are going to have some losses coming their way. They're just catching us at the right time. That's all it is.
Mike, I hope for our sake that we do catch heat at some point, because next week's schedule, we go out west, we go to Seattle, then we got to go face the Dodgers.
Another good team. That's another good team. Seattle, man, they're real underrated. I wouldn't be surprised if we lost 2 or 3 out there. They got a pretty good team, man.
Yeah, they do. They're nasty. So, like I said, though, I just hope that some way, like I said, I know it's one bad game, one managed bad game. I hope Girardi has learned from this big time mistake, because if he hasn't, then he needs to go.
Oh,
sooner rather than
he
lately.
won't make June 1st if he makes another mistake like that.
Yeah, I mean
Like
that
you got
was
to remember, dude. Like Girardi's not Dombrowski's guy.
right.
You
So
know what I mean? So Dombrowski can get rid of him and just be like, "See you."
right,
You
and
know,
like I said, he's got to, like I said, they got to play smart baseball from here on out. No
you
more
got to believe,
mistakes.
Patrick. You got to
Yes,
believe.
look, I got a tattoo, but I'm not going to show you. But listen,
Cut his
I
mic.
love sitting here. Me and you could debate about the Phillies all day long. There's another topic. This is the aftermath. I'm glad I got you guys here because both you guys are great college football guys. Both you are diehard, pigskin guys. I gotta know now that the draft is over, and I listen to Paul and Matt. You catch them every Wednesday at 9 p.m. talking Cowboys football on We Done Boys. Paul's listening to you and Matt talk. You guys were giving the Cowboys a B. Where are now? You look at it after with all the moves that they made, free agency wise, and all this stuff. Where are you with this NFC East compared? Uncle Paul, where are you compare the Cowboys to the rest of the team on paper after the draft? Did you first of all, did you think the Cowboys had a good draft? Were you yes, no, or what's your grade? And where are you compared to the rest of the division?
Well, I mean, we're still NFC East champions, of course. We understand that, but that's on paper. You can't look at this draft and say one team got better. Yes, I believe the Eagles got better, a hell of a lot better, but I'm not putting them ahead of the Cowboys right now because just like we talked with the Phillies, there is that foundation where you have to gel together. There's still a lot of holes with the Eagles. Jalen Hurts, this is his year. You surround him with A.J. Brown. You surround him with weapons. Is he going to be able to facilitate the ball? There's hidden unknowns out there. But yes, I think they got better. But with the Dallas Cowboys, just like, with myself and Matt Klein, I'm them 215 boys every Wednesday night. Thank you for saying that, Pat. But we talked about it. I gave him a solid B, maybe a B plus. It could turn into an A. Tyler Smith, 6'8", 330. He can play guard, tackle on both sides of the ball. We went out and we got another tight end. We got a Skyler, excuse me, Skyler from Montana or South Alabama, a high-flying wide receiver. We got better. We plugged holes. I'm not going to say we got better until we see what's going on. OTAs haven't even started yet. It's just rookie minicamp. Of course, everybody's going to look good. There's no hitting. There's no drilling out there. It's just fundamental ball right now. We don't know. It's a hidden unknown. But I give a solid B. I give the Eagles a. I hate to say it, but I give them an A. Could be an A.
Wow.
Plus. The A.J. Brown signing alone was an A right there.
Right, and I'm going to dive into that. So, Mike, let me go to you. How do you feel about the Eagles draft? What grade would you give it? And compared to the rest of the division, compared to the Commanders and the Giants, where are you with the Eagles right now?
The Commanders, I gave a C. They had some okay picks. I love the Jahan Dotson pick. Of course, I'm a Penn State guy. I think he's going to help them out.
Mm-hmm.
The Giants, I probably would give a C plus. I'm not sold on Kayvon Thibodeau. I think he's a bust waiting to happen. But they did get Evan Neal. So I kind of love the Evan Neal thing. I love that draft pick. But some of the picks they made afterwards kind of made you scratch your head. Like they literally went and got, somebody that you kind of like scratch your head. He's almost the same thing as what they have there in Kadarius Toney. Mm-hmm. So that's kind of why I was like scratching my head. But so I give them two. I give Dallas a B. And I thought Dallas kind of reached for that guard at Tulsa.
I had him rated as a third guard coming out, honestly. He's that good.
Yeah, I thought you guys kind of reached for him. I actually thought you guys were going to take Tyler Linderbaum. That's what I thought you guys were going to go after.
I know we did the draft show. I'm sorry to cut you off. I know we did the draft show. You, me, Mike, Joe Sullivan, of course. And yeah, I wanted Linderbaum, but now that I went back on my words, I looked at it. Center wasn't the option that we had to go. I thought about it, and I looked at when Tyler Smith came off the board. I'm like, you know what? This kid, I forgot he can play guard and tackle on both sides of the ball. So I think it was definitely a big need. I wanted Linderbaum, but
center, I said, I give Dallas a B for what they did. I give the Eagles a B plus. I'm not giving them an A. And the reason why I'm not giving them an A is because I want to see where these guys come into work. I want to see how Davis looks. I want to see how Nakobe Dean looks. I'll tell you what, though. I think they got a steal. And I'm talking about the tight end, Caletta, or Cal Caletta. Mm-hmm. He was with, if you're taking a look, they are putting familiar pieces around Jalen Hurts to make him look good. To give him weapons. Cal played with him at Oklahoma before transferring out. Okay,
Yes.
they went and got his best friend in A.J. Brown. So they're giving him every chance to sit there and say, "All right, kid, we're giving you the weapons. Now let's see what you got."
Yeah, and and we got one coming in from the John here. He goes, Dallas and Giants had a good draft. Eagles had a really good draft. Not so sure what Washington was doing. Eagles A plus, Giants A minus, Dallas B plus, and Washington B plus.
I don't agree with the Giants one. I don't agree. Like I said, Paul, when me and you were talking, I told you I'm not sold on Kayvon Thibodeau. I really don't. I think he's got bust written all over him. I don't trust no pass rusher from the Pac-10.
Yeah, and like I told you, go ahead.
They don't play defense there.
No, and what I told you too, Mike, last week, I'm really surprised that the Giants didn't go and draft a QB right out the chute, because unless they're going to give Daniel Jones one more year to try and get this right, or I was, like I said, I'm just really shocked that they didn't go after a quarterback.
You want to know what happened?
They got Tyron Taylor coming in for
they got Tyrod. Tyrod's probably going to be their starter. But here's the thing. Here's a little nugget which I didn't know of, and this goes to show you how slick Howie is. Howie caught wind that the Giants wanted Carson Strong, that they were thinking about drafting him. Mm-hmm. When they didn't draft him, he told him, he was like, "Look, we don't have no other picks." He goes, "If I can get a pick for the 7th round, I'm going to take you." He goes, "If not, we have a contract waiting for you right here." Literally, no soon as the draft ended, Carson Strong was one of the first ones to sign undrafted free agency. But believe it or not, the Giants wanted him. And he had already signed with the Eagles. Because the Eagles were the first. He made up his mind. I listened to his interview. He said he made up his mind. Whatever the first team was that reached out to him as an undrafted free agent, that's who he was going to sign with. And it was the Eagles.
Well, and here goes another one, like Paul mentioned earlier. How about this one, right? What did I just do there? A.J. Brown coming to you now, Paul. You're looking, from the Cowboys side of things, defense side of things. What do the Cowboys have to do now to shut down this offense? You're going to have Devontae Smith on one side. You're going to have A.J. Brown. What do you do?
Well, I think we addressed that in the draft already. We went out and we got a defensive tackle, we got a defensive end, and another linebacker. To me, you have to get pressure on the Eagles up front. Without the pressure, anybody can stand back and throw the ball. Back in the days in Devereaux Sports, when we played on the playground, Pat, you give me seconds, I can throw the ball anywhere I want. You have to put pressure on Jalen Hurts. And to me, that was where we went. A lot of Dallas Cowboy fans, I'm in the war room, talking with my fans out there and everything. And I hate to say it, these guys we don't have 700 levels out there, but they were 300 levels, at Jerry's World. They didn't know what the hell they were talking about. You need wide receivers. No, you don't need wide receivers. You can score 30 points, but with this Eagles offense, they're going to score 45. You got to get up front, and it's very simple.
And I know back in around the wintertime, us guys, my brother and a couple other guys were arguing about, and the concerns they got about Jalen Hurts' arm and his arm strength. Like, to me, that's one of my concerns about, like, you got two impact wideouts, but do you have the quarterback that has the arm for it? And I get it. To me, you're your typical mobile quarterback where he's going to have to scramble all the time. But when it comes down to it, and Mike, was it Mike? What's his name? Mike Reckenbach told us a long time ago. With some things in this league that change, and one thing will never league. It's a pocket passer league, and can he play the pocket passer? And to me,
go ahead, Pat.
No,
I was just going to rebuttal what you were saying. Like, everybody knows that Jalen's got to improve his passing. Like, and people say, "Oh, well, you can't improve accuracy." That's bull. Like, did you not see Mitchell Trubisky when he came out? Did you not see Josh Allen when he came out? Like, Josh Allen could not throw nothing. He went and worked with somebody. Okay, Jalen Hurts, and to his defense, if you go back over the last 4 years, he's had 3 different offenses in 4 years. This is the first time that this dude has an off season to learn the offense. Okay, he's coming back so he can get into the playbook a little bit more. Okay, he's working on improving his passing. The guy's improved every year. Since he's left Nick Saban, he's improved every year. I'm talking arm. Like, his 1 year at Oklahoma, he only had CeeDee Lamb to throw to. You know what I mean? And he got them to the college playoff. You know what I mean? So, yeah, do I think the kid can? Yeah, he's going to get better, man. But the one thing you can't take away from this kid is his intangibles, man. He's a leader, okay, and he's not scared of the big moment. Okay, he's not going to pull McNabb and puke on the field. He's not going
Right.
to be Carson Wentz and go, "Oh, I got a little dinged up, and oh, I'm seeing Tweety birds fly around my head." You know,
Well,
I
if
agree. I agree with you,
yeah.
Mike, 100% on Jalen Hurts. We're huge college football fans. You understand the word leadership. He possesses this. He understands the heart and dedication. You know, he was at Alabama, went to the national championship, lost, won there, and then he got benched to Tua, and then Tua gets hurt. Then he comes back and drives him all the way in the SEC championship game, the first playoff game, gets him there. Then is benched again, goes to Oklahoma, finishes second in the Heisman Trophy. The kid is heart. And it's something you can't teach. The one thing that you have the intangible is heart, leadership. The accuracy will come. But once the Eagles find an identity to run the ball first and then open play action up for Hurts, it could be an insane offense. And that's coming from a Cowboys fan. That scares.
here's my thing though. But that, Paul, the only thing is that we got to get a bigger back. I'm not comfortable with I love Miles Sanders. Again, big Penn State guy. Love Sanders to death. He's not big enough to run the rock 20 times. He's not. And the thing is, like, yeah, you could split his carries up with maybe Boston Scott or, you know, like we had, you know, was it Howard? You know, I loved Howard. I thought Howard played beast ball last year. You know, my son's making a comment now about James Bradbury might be an Eagle. I can definitely see that happening. You know, the Giants, they need another experienced corner over there. The one thing I got that was a little upsetting, I know, Paul, when we were doing the draft, man, I kept telling you, if we can't get Honey Badger, I want Jaquan Brister out of Penn State. I thought he would be able to help the Eagles, man, but unfortunately the Bears swooped in and got him. So I'm looking now, like, I know we need help at safety because I'm not sold on Anthony Harris. I would really like to see Kevon Wallace step up. Like, this is, to me, this is the year for that kid to step up. And he don't step up this year, you got to cut him.
Yeah, I agree.
You know?
He's had his years now. I mean, that's, to me, Eagles secondary.
He can't stay healthy.
Yeah, the Eagles secondary is still, to me, a little suspect. You know, you address the linebacker. That's given if Nakobe Dean comes back healthy. We know his injury. We don't know, you know, off-season, whatever happens. That could possibly steal a draft with Nakobe Dean. But I agree with you. The secondary is still a little bit suspect. But
Eagles, I mean, you got Slay on one side. If they're able to pick up a Bradbury, I'll be okay. Because then you have Slay, Bradbury, and you got Avonte Maddox covering the slot. I'm cool there. My only issue is Anthony Harris, man. He's always a step late to the ball. I like Epps. I really do. But I feel like Epps is kind of that guy you want to throw in there. Like when you take a linebacker off the field and you bring in an extra safety, he's your extra safety guy. I like Marcus Epps as an extra safety, not as a starting one. And to me, I feel like they made the wrong choice. I'd have let Anthony Harris walk, and I would have re-signed Rodney McLeod. Because Rodney McLeod's a ball hawk. You know what I mean? And you wait and see what he does in Indy. He's going to be, we're going to miss him.
Right.
But Kayvon Wallace, this is his time now. He's got to stop tweeting. He's got to stop, you know, getting hurt. Okay. He needs to show up. And they took you in the third round to be their future. Okay. And another thing that a lot of people are forgetting about too is everybody's forgetting about Davion Taylor. I cannot wait for him. Joe, I love you to death, buddy, but no.
That was one hell of a movie, though. Don't drop the ball. Don't fumble the ball.
Yeah, it was. I went to the movies and saw that. That was crazy. But yeah, like that's all I'm saying. Like he needs to produce, man. He really does. This is the time Wallace has got to step up and play. If not, then we got to cut bait with him.
Yeah. Hey Pat, let me talk to you for a second, real quick. Remember how you were talking about Daniel Jones' fifth-year option, right?
Yeah.
What you're surprised that they didn't go after quarterback? Yeah, I heard they wanted Strong out of Nevada, but I mean, what do they have to lose? You're not going to pick up Daniel Jones' fifth-year option. You might as well go out and not tank the season, but just play yourself. But next year's draft class, you're looking at Bryce Young, C.J. Stroud, you know, out of college. You're looking at there's one quarter Lee Willow eyes out of Kentucky. I think it is, Mike. Is that Kentucky?
Yes.
And
Yo,
then,
there's a kid that's under the radar right now that I'm going to put you on notice from right now. Quarterback kid from Lehigh. He's 6'6", 240 pounds. This dude throws a laser. I'm talking 60, 70 yards in the air. I
well,
forget. I can't remember his name. I was watching the thing on him probably about a day or so ago. He's out of Lehigh University right here in Pennsylvania. Not too far where the Eagles used to hold their mini camp or
Bethlehem.
training camp at.
Bethlehem.
Kid is unreal. He's a senior. He's a fifth-year senior. I can't wait. I hope he gets. I think he's going to make some noise. They
Well,
show tape on him, dude. Oh,
Now, Mike,
man.
Speaking of that, I'm going to tell you one name out there. He's actually from here. I watched him 2 years ago play at Hershey Stadium where he beat the St. Joe's Prep single-handedly. Phil Jerkovich from Boston College. This kid is 6'6", nasty. He went to Notre Dame, couldn't get playing time, which I don't know why. Transferred to Boston College, and he's going to project it. I'm thinking he's one of the top 3 quarterbacks coming out
now
of here.
here goes one. Here goes one for you guys too. And it's funny, Mike. When you and I talked last week, you were a little concerned, and I know this hasn't really nothing to do with the draft. You were concerned with Wentz going over there with to do all of the draft, picking up Dotson and all those guys. Are you still somewhat concerned about the Commanders for the upcoming season?
Well, I'm going to be concerned with it all depends really on how they use them. Okay.
Well, they draft a quarterback in the whole division. Sam Howell,
Sam Howell out of North Carolina.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he's for down the line. He's not for right now. And I don't know if you heard the story or not. The Commanders had to go to Carson Wentz and say, "Listen, we are drafting a quarterback, but it's for much down the line, not now. It's for developmental." Like they literally had to go and coddle him and let him know that. So, but I look at it like this: if you have Jahan Dotson opposite of Terry McLaurin, that's a pretty good 1-2 punch, dude. Jahan Dotson can get down the field, and he reminds you of I guess a taller AJ Brown. And when I say taller, he's probably a couple inches bigger than AJ Brown, but he won't bowl you over, but he'll fight for the ball. He'll go get it. And I'm hoping that he takes a little bit long to learn. But Washington, their thing is they're running. They like to run the ball. So
they got
to be run the ball, play defense.
They got a hell of a back this year, and Brian Robinson from Alabama, the starting tailback from Alabama. He's a bruiser, I would compare him to like a Najee Harris from Alabama. He's strong. He likes to run up the hole, and defense, he went defensive again. They got the Mathis from Alabama, which is just like a Jordan Davis type player, not as big, but a little bit more. They got both sides. I'm not scared yet because just like you said, on paper, they filled a couple holes, but we know what Carson Wentz is right now. We know his background. We know his MOA.
He's shattered. He's a shattered quarterback right now, but
mistakes.
I think he's in a perfect position though, to be honest with you, being with Washington, because Washington's going to run the ball. Like Ron Rivera's going to sit there and say, dude, you don't have to play cowboy here. We're going to run the ball. When I need you to pass is when I need you to pass. He's with a veteran head coach. You got to remember, dude, when he was with Doug was a first-time head coach. He went to Frank Wright, first-time head coach. Ron Rivera's been there, did that. You know what I'm saying? So
a lot of people
you got somebody to really kind of rein him in
right
now, you know what I mean? And he's got hardware. So, not as a coach, but as a player, he's got hardware. So, you're definitely be able to I could see Carson having a better year. He didn't have a bad year last year. He only threw like 4 interceptions last year, but it just so happens the 4 that he threw was just that bad timing, real bad timing.
Oh my gosh, Chucky nailed him last week for it. You remember? Chucky was nailing him for it.
Well, listen, dude, your brother likes to nail. He nails Allen Iverson, which to me is the biggest. He's the biggest fraud going right now.
Yeah,
he nails Allen Iverson, who never played with anybody. Right? No, he nails Aaron Nola, and Nola's been pitching pretty damn good. But he hates him.
Look, again, Paul's known me and my family for over 3 decades. We don't know what trickles into my brother's brain at times.
I definitely know which Bernard ate the paint chips as a kid.
Right.
I can attest to that. I remember Chucky coming over to my house and actually scraping the walls for a little bit. I remember that. So I'm just going to blame him.
I mean, I don't know. I really don't know what trickles into his little brain. But I do know this. It's the NFL draft, though. I feel like as Eagle fans, we can walk out happy. Cowboy fans can walk out happy. But now, to me, though, and I know it's way, way too early to ask this, but now, like I ask this all the time to Matt Klein and Paul. I'm going to refer to you now. Is this your last go around with McCarthy? Is this your last? Like he's got to do better than what he did last year, or due to the fact that the Cowboys might have lost some pieces this offseason, we're like, nah, I'll give him another year. Where are you at?
No, this is the last year with him. I mean, fundamentally on paper, I mean, I understand we lost Amari Cooper, we lost a lot of, Gregory, we lost Collins, we lost Connor Williams. I don't really care about that. You went out, you filled the holes. Last year, games 1 through 6, we looked like a Super Bowl contending team. And then it went down south. I don't believe in McCarthy. He lost us at least 2 to 3 games last year on stupid fundamental time management. I don't agree with him. I give Matt his props. We talked about it, like a year ago. I was on the fence with him. Matt said get rid of him, which I got to give my man respect on that. Mm-hmm. This is the last year with him. Him and Kellen Moore are so vanilla to me right now that with the weapons we have, we need to be more out of the box. You have a great running back in Zeke still who can hit the hole when he wants to. You have Pollard, a scat back. You have the weapons. You went out and got James Washington, another slot guy. You have Lamb. You have Gallup to take a roof off the house. And then you went out and get this new kid, Morton from South Alabama, who's a flyer. This year is the year. Dude, I don't care. You and Girardi from the Phillies can get on a boat and go somewhere because I'm
yes,
I really am. This is the year. Yep. Has to be.
Yeah, and I know at some point, though, I think, Washington's got to have that kind of standard for Ron Rivera at some point. No, I mean, granted, they really don't have a quarterback yet. I would imagine, though, Washington's going to have to, come to that conclusion at some point to, how much change are you going to give Ron Rivera?
I think they give him like a 3 to 4, like a 5-year window, honestly. It's time for him to, build his team around him, solid defense, find that quarterback. And just like we talked about Hal from North Carolina, it's Carson's job to go out and say, Hal, listen, Hal's going to learn the playbook. He's the future of the Washington Redskins. The kid is actually a good player.
Right. Yeah. Yeah, I would say that. And as far as, I'm going to comment on McCarthy, too. Like, I honestly believe, I think this is his last year. I don't think if he doesn't get it done, I think Dan Quinn's your next head coach.
I don't like him as
Jerry Jones. I know you don't like him as a head coach, but your owner loves him. Your owner loves him. You know what I mean? So I can see them promoting him the head coach. I really can.
As a defensive coordinator, he's one hell of a defensive coordinator. But as a head coach, he's not that. Some people are great head coaches. Some people are defensive coordinators.
Coordinators, right. Yeah, I hear you. Rex Ryan is one of them. Right, so, yeah, I agree. Mm-hmm. I agree. But as far as Ron Rivera goes, dude, to me, that franchise is just in flux. Like, the owner had to sign the team over to his wife. He can't legitimately. Then you're finding out that they were hiding money from the NFL. Like, I mean, that place is, you want to talk about a motley crew of an organization. Like, that's must-see TV right there. Like, Hard Knocks should be the Washington Commanders this year, just to see all the back shit that's going on, But
it looks like Junior's checking in. We know he's a big-time Giants fan. Not to change subject here, but he said he wanted Cole Kelly, 6'7", 230 pounds, from south of Louisiana. Dude has an arm. He's a machine worker.
Yeah, heard about him too. I heard about him. Sorry about that. I live on a main cog, so there's ambulances flying by here. If you hear it,
get Pat with all those stupid comments he had earlier. I thought they were coming to get Pat.
Yeah, but no, listen, and my kid brought up a good point too about Bradbury too, like about him being like I feel like that's more of just a salary dump for the Giants. You know what I mean? Like for them to get like a little further under the salary cap. Like, why would you get rid of a guy who was basically like an all-pro? You know what I mean? Like, that doesn't make any sense to me. But hey, if he's out there, I'd love to see the Eagles get him. You know what I mean? I would love to see him in there. But as far as the NFC East goes, I still think Dallas is the team to beat.
So how would you rank
hopefully, right now, you'd have to go Dallas number 1, the Eagles number 2. And believe it or not, I'm going to go with Washington 3, and then the Giants pulling up the rear. Like I said, I'm
Ooh.
not. So, and the only reason why I'm saying Giants are pulling up the rear is they got a new head coach, new general manager. They need time to build. Like they started in the right direction. Like I don't think the Giants are going to be in last place for too long.
Right. I mean, hey, look, Nick Sirianni was a first-time head coach last year, and he, I mean, some of the questions, in the beginning.
Yeah, but you know what? He also benefited from a last place schedule too. Like I want to see how Nick coaches this year with a playoff schedule. The Eagles got a pretty hard schedule coming up this year. And I think it's funny too if you take a look at it. Like I feel sorry for the Cowboys. I really do. Like the NFL kind of. And by the way, guys, I don't know, Paul, if you know, but Thursday night the schedule comes out this Thursday.
Yes,
that's next Thursday. Yep.
Yeah, it's this Thursday upcoming, the 12th. So I cannot wait. I'm going to be watching it. I want to see where we're going, when we're going. And I think that really tells it. But our extra games, like last year, our extra games were against the AFC East. This year, it's against the AFC North.
I know it's in the South.
Yeah, it is. It's against the AFC. No. We play the AFC South, the whole division. The one extra game, we play the AFC North. The Eagles got the Steelers here this year, and I believe Dallas has to go to Cincinnati. I think the Giants got the Browns, and Baltimore's got Washington. So it's like really cool. Yeah. I thought that was cool though, because I was like, oh wow, cool. We get to play the Steelers. You know what I mean? Because usually it's only once every 4 years, but now with this extra game, I think they move with divisions every year. So I like it, man. I can't wait for it to go.
I'm kind of
see how it shapes out.
Dallas doesn't get this year since I'm up here. It's only an hour away from my house, but Mike, next Thursday we'll go live during the
Let's do it. Let's do it. I mean, I'm down. I can't wait because I like commenting. I like seeing the division schedule and then trying to pick what you're going to be. I think that's I mean, we all do it anyway. We see the schedule come out. We go, okay, this is a win. That's a loss. That's a loss. Oh God, that's definitely a loss.
Right.
You know what I mean?
It gets you riled up already. So, Paul, let me ask you real fast. Rank me the division. How do you see them? And like I said, I know it's April. I'm sorry, I know it's May, but we just saw the draft, some free agency moves. So where are you? Where are you feeling now? And then we'll revisit this back in September. We'll go back to this in September. Where are you right now, currently with all four teams?
Well, I mean, going on paper, I'm going to look at the draft somewhat a little bit. I'm still going to put Dallas number one, not because I'm a fan. It's just on paper. Coming from a head coach that's been there with Mark McCarthy, the Quinn system, the players that we picked up. I'm going to put Dallas number one on paper only. Right. Eagles right behind them, maybe tier one right behind them, one game off, maybe looking at. I'm going to flip flop what Mike said. I think the Giants will surprise you this year with the little additions they had. I think they actually fill the division at 3 and the Commanders at 4. I don't believe in Carson Wentz yet. They're still looking for that. I want to say that identity right now. The Giants don't have an identity, but they have the weapons. And I think this is the year that Daniel Jones says, hey, you know what? I'm going to be out there for a bag of peanuts next year. So this is my year to shine. They got me some weapons on offense and defense. Evan O'Neal is insane on the offensive side of the ball. I think he protects Daniel Jones a little bit. I think they're going to be in third place. So I'm going to flip flop what Mike said and go Washington 4.
I'm going to go Birds winning the division. I'm going to go Cowboys wild card in it. And the other two, you go Giants not making it. You're right. It will be third, and I will have Washington at 4th.
I just got one quick question for you guys.
Go ahead.
If the Giants say they're start to slide and they're out, does Saquon Barkley get traded this year?
Yes.
Yeah, he'll be a move piece.
He's going to be the piece for next year when they say, you know what, we're let's say we get the 5th pick of the draft next year. That's going to come out and say, you know what, hey, Barkley's on the table. Who wants a back? We'll give you a first round or second round, whatever you want to give us for him. It's time to rebuild the whole situation because if that happens,
I was thinking that too because I thought that might happen this year because if you take a look, I think one or maybe both of the Buffalo backs are free agents at the end of the year.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? And I could see one of them coming down to the Giants because they had played on the Brian Dable. So, you know, I think this is the last year in New York for Saquon too. The only problem is I don't know where he's going to end up, but yeah, I could see that.
Right. Like I said, I can see them moving on from him as well. So look, as I normally do to wrap up everything, guys, like I said, I enjoyed Devra Sports. I you know I love this. Now I watch it on Twitter or YouTube now.
Why are you in jail? Are you in jail? Are you in jail?
I got 9 more days. But I watched. You know, like I said, I enjoy everyone's shows here from Mondays, starting with Sully Squad here. You guys did a great job watching, covering the draft. And then Tuesdays we got the the Union show and Harry Hockey show covering all the NHL playoffs right now. And then we got Wednesdays. I mean, we're always up to something. Tuesday nights we got the Tuesday Night Fight Club now. With Paul and Joey Woods, breaking down the hottest, boxing UFC. Got to catch that. We're always in filling here. Wednesdays, we got the We Done Boys from 215s every at 9:00. You get the Cowboys perspective. Like I said, to me, it's very interesting what we got here on this network. Thursdays, we got. I got to see Mike. You're gonna like this. I don't know if you saw Thursday. Our old buddy, the White Lotus, was on the program.
Yeah, I saw that. I came home late from work and I saw he was a guest on Chio's show. I tried to share all you guys' shows out there.
Yeah.
To get it shared on, but it was good to see.
Yeah,
it was good to see Lotus, man.
Yeah, I haven't seen that in a good long time. A good dude. And then like I said, now the newest and Austin's gonna be running it as our video game show. He's gonna get that going. But like I said, it's always fun. And then it's us leading up on the weekends. So we will be back to Sunday mornings next week. But guys, I've got to ask you, Paul. I know it's been long. It's been 3 years since you've been on the Gobbler Show, since you and I did the show here. So I got to ask you, 8:00, 8 p.m. prime time, Sixers Heat Game 4, guys. What is the meal plan for tomorrow?
Tomorrow, go ahead, Mike. I'm still thinking about it. Go ahead.
I think I'm going to go Italiano tomorrow. We're going to do some penne with some meatballs.
Oh, I'm a big fan of the meatballs.
I know you are.
Shut up. Go ahead.
All right. Tomorrow, I think I'm going to, since I can't get a real cheesesteak up here, I think I'm going to make some cheesesteaks tomorrow, homemade tomorrow. I think I'm going to do that.
I'll say, I hope you're going to get that. What's that burger out there? They put on white bread.
Permini Brothers?
Permini Brothers? Dude, I had one of those. I went to a Pittsburgh Eagles game about 10 years ago. When Michael Vick was our quarterback, I went out there and we actually, me and a couple buddies of mine, my one buddy lives out there. He took us to Permani Brothers and I had the Roethlisberger one. It's a cheeseburger, whatever version of it. Dude, all it is a cheeseburger with coleslaw and French fries.
Yes.
Like yes. But you know what though? Like we're a bunch of slobs anyway. Like we would all put that on there anyway. So I was like, okay, there ain't nothing special about this. We do this back home.
Right. Well, I'm probably going to do I'm going to do some cake and I'm going to do some pasta tomorrow. Haven't really came up with a decision yet of what I want to do. Probably some baked ziti or something.
Are you making it?
He ain't making it.
Bingo.
Oh, dude, come on. It's Mother's Day. You got to at least make your wife some dinner.
Give Monique a break, dude. Seriously.
Listen, I better have about 300 YouTube channels around me to learn how to cook as good as her, because her cooking is slamming. We got to do that again, Mike. Do like one of these night shows and have some baked ziti like that, like we did on the one show. That was pretty good. She was hooking up.
Yeah, well, I told you, the next time we do a get together,
John Leave and come up with a body bag container.
Dude, Leave came up there. I swear to God, this dude had the paper plate was bowing, like it was so much ziti. He's like, oh yeah, you gonna take this? I was like, dude,
well, that explains his food coma. Why he's always in a food coma today.
Yes. I like when the fact that he calls me up to ask me what's my wife bringing. Like, hi, John, how are you? But it's the Lieber, and that's what you get best from him.
Hey,
so,
Pat,
guys,
Pat, before we check out real quick, can I add something?
Go ahead.
Listen, all you guys out there that follow us on Facebook Live, listen, you need to go to Devereaux Sports YouTube page because, listen, Facebook is playing this little game with everybody, all the podcasters and streams out there. They're taking away a lot of streams and podcasts from us. So here's the thing. I need you to go to YouTube, subscribe, Devereaux Sports. It's on the screen right there, Devereaux Sports. Go there on YouTube, like, share, number one, subscribe. We have all the shows there from hockey, wrestling, video gaming, football, baseball, basketball, UFC, boxing. Devereaux Sports is where you need to go. Go there, like, share, subscribe. Follow us on YouTube. That's all I'm asking. It's that simple.
Click the damn button.
Yes. And I'm going to piggyback off that real fast, Paul. And if you guys don't know what YouTube is, it's not hard. It's probably on your phone by now in this day and age. Look up Devereaux Sports. And if you don't know what that is, if you're a video game head, if you like video games, look up on Twitch. We're there on Twitch. And if you're a Twitter guy, go to Twitter. We're going to be on Twitter. We're going to be everywhere but Facebook. Look, guys, enjoy the rest of your weekend. Enjoy being with your wives. If you're visiting your mom or whatever you're doing, guys, enjoy your weekend. Tomorrow, the Refs and Bisons will be taking over at 11 a.m. talking wrestling news, and they will be talking Backlash for all you WWE fans. So, guys, if you're into wrestling, check those guys out tomorrow at 11 a.m. Guys, for me, Mike Lauer and Paul, thank you for being a part of today's program. Looking to do more stuff with you in the near future. So, guys, thank you so much. And, guys, enjoy the rest of your day.
All right, Pat.
See you, brother.